Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. And of course, we're going to start off this episode with an email from the boy Mark here. And that's unverspodcast@gmail.com. If you ever want to send any questions or comments, we'll talk about it on the episodes. With the power of modding, he was able to get his mirror fight in DMC5 that you can't in the base game and in the console version. So he talked about it when I was streaming the other day. Basically, he was mirror matching with Dante.
I don't know. I didn't even know there was a market for that. That's cool.
Oh, dude, I think I mentioned before, like, I bought Dark Souls 3 because you can mod Kyrie in there. So,
yeah, for sure. I know, like, modding is a big thing. I don't know there was one for DMC. That's cool.
Yeah. For a long time, they were trying to make Virgil playable because there was no news about if he's going to be coming or not, if there's a special edition for 5. And one of the big modders for DMC5, they're working on a project.
Fuck it, we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah, he's working on a project called Strive, I think, and he's basically making DMC PvP. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's footage. Like there was a trailer he put out.
Why isn't Dante in Smash yet, dude?
I know. Oh, here.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So then he says, same for emulation in Kingdom Hearts 2. I didn't know this. I don't know if you knew this, Adam. He says, where you can add modded characters like Aqua and Ventus, but they have their own unique combat mechanics imported from Birth by Sleep in 3. Basically making Kingdom Hearts 2 a different game.
yeah, that's something I started seeing a little while ago, and now with the PC that I have, I really want to start looking into that because some of the stuff for Kingdom Hearts 2 that these guys have done is just insane. Like, it's a totally different game.
His question is, what game would you want modded and what kind of mods would you want? I do like the concept of mods. I never think of what specifically I want, other than just like things that they would leave out that I think would make it probably better. Performance and graphic mods to where it looks nicer, make old games res up to 4K and all that stuff.
Yeah, dude, I would like to see Booker in BioShock 1, dude. I think that would be legit with the hook shot that he has, man, like in all those, instead of using the regular plasmids, use the Vigors from Infinite. I think that would be pretty fun.
Two. I was gonna say one, but two of the biggest modded communities that already exist. I'm pretty much happy at this point. Like, I don't really need anything else modded. Like Skyrim is one of them. Like modded Skyrim, so much potential in that. And I've been telling you guys this, dude. Modded Minecraft, man.
Oh yeah,
my
we
God,
were just talking about that the other day.
Dude, that shit is a different game, bro. All together, dude. You could get lost in that. I'm happy with that. Like any other games, I don't really have any in mind when it comes to like that I want modded. But yeah, those are like my two go-tos for mods.
Dude, only because we talked about this recently, Jerry, I would like to see a Dissidia Duodessa mod with more characters.
That would also be cool.
Like with the mobile game for Dissidia, it works out really well. It's turn-based, and they brought in they're bringing in so many characters every couple months. I would just like to see that.
They put basically the guy, I don't know who made it. I think it was Activision and Treyarch, but they made a Spider-Man, the first game based on the movie. They basically modded their own. You know how
oh fuck yeah.
You know how in some of the mods they just change the character up, but it matches so well with what's going on with King. I was like with Kingdom Hearts, I never saw the mod myself, but I'm pretty sure they made it so that it matches up with the rest of the story. Otherwise, you wouldn't just be playing Kyrie. You can kind of make your own headcanon. They put Green Goblin instead of Spider-Man, and you can play as a fucking Green Goblin, dude. I'm like, dude, this is what I wanted, bro.
Costumes, I think, is a big one I like, especially in DMC5, all the costumes that you could get there. Like Nero, he gets Guts' armor, and it looks really nice in there. Of course, they make V Joker, which was great. And you can get Dante's classic outfits. I'll tell you, some of the favorite ones that I hear about are definitely from Dark Souls. Especially
Yeah,
especially like when they add bosses that were cut out, but they're
Dark
still
Souls.
the data's
Yeah,
still
Dark
in the
Souls.
game.
That's coming up definitely.
Hmm.
Like modded wise.
Yeah, I know. There's a mod you can get to where you can make one of the Dark Souls games a roguelite. To where every time you die, it'll change the area, shuffles around the boss's orders and all that.
Dude,
There's one
oh
right
my
now that's
God.
like popular. It's the item randomizer. Like every pickup is like a random ass item you
Hmm.
find in the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much get like keys included. Like it changes the whole fucking game around. There's a mod in Skyrim that like you basically you don't have to start off in the same in Helgen every fucking time. You could like switch around. They have like their own start story or I guess starter stories where like you just it just pushes you along to the main route. Like you don't have to start in Helgen. You start like in like the opposite end of the map and shit, and then just start your life from there as like a mage or whatever. You know that I think that was cool. Like I've been meaning to get Skyrim on my PC just to try out all these different mods.
Yeah, I know there's a mod for Final Fantasy 9. I keep seeing stuff for it on the Steam community page, but I just haven't tried it out yet. But from what I've seen, it's like what I would have wanted for the game if it was remastered.
Of course, my favorite mods are uh, Super Saiyan 5 in the Tenkaichi games. Shit's wrong.
Yes.
That shit was always mad hype. I'm like, yo, holy shit. And then they fuse and all that stuff. And then you get that fucking DeviantArt costumes.
Dude, that's the way to go, man.
Yeah. And then he also asks, yeah, what was a minor hiccup that you did in a game? Like you bought the wrong upgrade or items, overwrote your save by mistake, or you shot the wrong person that cost you dearly.
I just did that like recently. Fucking, I chose the wrong dialogue option in Yakuza, and I had to relog.
There's only one right answer, man. Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm probably gonna put it back on BioShock, my first run through. I didn't know there were multiple endings depending on if you
Mm.
saved the little sisters or not. So, and there's three of them. Either you save them all, you harvest them all, or you kind of do a mix of the two. So, I didn't know that, and I harvested them all, and I had like the evil ending. I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. But then I found out there was two other ones. I'm like, dude, I really have to play the whole game all over again just to get those other two. Um, I think those kinds of things would be nice to know, but I think it's better to find out that there was multiple endings for it, you know, or like certain choices may or may not have anything to do with it. I remember there was one in Silent Hill Homecoming, and I just told you about this one a while ago, Jerry, where like you get to this scene where you have to save your mom, but it doesn't tell you have a time limit. So you're trying to like piece together, should I do it, should I not do it? And no matter what you do, she dies anyway. So it's like I had
Oh my
gone that
god.
far into the game again. I was like, all right, this time I'm gonna wait and see like what's gonna happen. Then she ended up dying, and it was like, well, that fucking sucks. So again, I think those kind of I think those kind of moments are kind of fun, but when it is pretty detrimental, then it's like, ah, damn, I wish I knew that.
Especially when like the last save spot was like fucking ages ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember a particular time, but I do remember moments where I would miss something or I would miss a QTE and it would mess me up. Yeah. Speaking of Yakuza earlier, right? These QTEs, if you mess them
Dude, they're
up,
just so fast.
Lightning quick, bro. You have to do them before they come up.
hmm especially during boss fights. I don't know if you encountered those yet, Jerry, but there's
Oh,
QTEs in a boss fight, and if you miss them, you could take some pretty big damage.
Those are forgiving though. Like they give you some time. Like, hey, I'm right here. This one is just like a
Yeah.
snap of the finger. Like during regular combat.
I don't know if you got to this part in Yakuza yet, Jerry, but you get to find this like underground club, and
Oh yeah, buddy.
and like the QTE in those is so fast, but if you land it, it you make so much money. You make so much money, but if you fuck up, dude, it's game over.
Yeah. I found the poker spot, and I don't think I'm gonna leave for a while.
It's Red Dead all over again.
Fucking blackjack, dude. Let's go. I'm about to fucking make everybody broke.
That was it for the emails. Thanks, Mark, again, as always, and that's unversedpodcast@gmail.com. And before we were recording, we were all playing Yakuza, so we might as well start that off since this is now a Yakuza Kingdom Hearts podcast.
Let's
Oh,
go.
dude, 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, so I'm on chapter 11 right now of Zero, and
Damn, bro.
yeah, dude. Right now though, I'm just doing the Cabaret Club side quest because this is just so much fun, man. I just need to find some more girls.
Yeah, I'm barely on chapter 4, dude.
Oh, dude, you got a lot. You've got so much
Yeah.
to go through.
Fuck, I gotta actually sit down and play this.
I spent all day yesterday just grinding through Yakuza, and now I'm just gonna do some side stuff and then progress with the story. But this is great, man. The writing is brilliant in this game. Like I don't think I played a game with writing like this in a really long time, so I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, man. It's like it's not. I was gonna say it's an anime. It's like it's fucking. It's like a drama. It's like
Yes.
kind of fucking. It's so good. Like it's something you would see like on I don't know, like on TNT. You know.
It's yeah, to me it's very much like a delinquent manga. There's series like Crow's Worst and like others from that specific mangaka that they're literally just Yakuza games. And that's what really brought me to the series, and just this, there's really serious intense moments between Kiryu or Majima and just the other Yakuza people that you have to deal with in the story, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect, man.
Yeah, dude. And some of these side quests really, I mean, they're just so good. They're so much fun.
Like I can get lost on the streets easily, dude. Going around taking a lap around the block and then coming back, or I'm fighting everybody along the way. Fucking getting my ass kicked by fucking Mr. Shakedown every now and then, but like you don't understand, dude. Last night I kept every time I kept losing the fucking Shakedown, I would relog and try to fucking beat him again until I beat him, and then he's like, "This is not even my final form," and I'm like, "Well, shit," because shit's gonna get harder now. That's when I continued on, but like that's how it's so easy for me like just to fucking get lost doing nothing, making money, doing side quests, all that. But once the story hits, man, I just have to like I got to put a controller down and just watch it, like put my whole undivided attention. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of throw on streams a little bit before, like while I'm playing these video games, and Yakuza is one of those where I kind of have to just fucking 100% of my focus into it. It's
Yeah.
it's the streets part that gets it, you know, during when I'm just around just fucking looking for thugs to fight, like I can easily tune out of there and kind of listen to what's going on, but once the story hits or like any side quest hits, I'm kind of like, all right, everything has to shut up real quick and just let me look at this. It's so good, like how it just like pulls my attention in like that.
Yeah, I do the same exact thing. When I know I'm going into a main story or one of the more higher end sub stories, I'm like, okay, let me put this down and let me focus here. I mean, plus it's also like you have to read the subtitles, so you don't want to miss any dialogue.
Yeah, that's what I failed to mention. Yeah,
Yeah, because there's a lot of moments when during like the climax of a chapter where they'll talk and they'll drop some big information, and if you look away for a second, you're like, damn it, what did they say?
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed a lot of the early stuff about Kiryu. That's where I kind of learned, like, oh shit, I have to fucking watch this, like, close.
Oh yeah. And I was watching Wooly's LP for Zero because I want to see what he thinks of the series, and I was watching the early stuff. I'm like, man, I don't remember some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, mainly because I had a big gap in between when I first started it and then when I hopped back on recently.
For me, it's like because this was the game after Persona, and Persona just had like especially during like the end of it just had me pushing X just to skip dialogue, kind of. Right. But you know, like I get the gist, and then I just move on to the next one, and that shit takes me like about like half a second just to like click through, and some of that habit carried over to Yakuza, where I just started like clicking everything. I'm like, wait, fuck, I'm missing some shit. Stop it. Like, stop pushing A.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of dialogue in this game. You get like the final moments in a chapter, then you get a pretty lengthy cutscene, and then you start the next chapter, and that starts with more dialogue and cutscenes.
Yeah, I can't play this like at night when I'm exhausted from work, because I end up passing out and missing a good chunk. Because especially during like the I think the story dialogues, but they just autoplay. So like I end up like, let's say like I end up just watching a cutscene start to play out from the story, and then I blink, and then it just ends to me just like, looks like I have to go do this and that, and then but it's just like a silent one, and he's just standing there. And how many minutes have gone by? I don't know. I just know it's bedtime.
Where I'm at right now, I think Zero's probably going to be one of my favorites. And I think that has to do with this is the 6th game that they made in the series because it came out after 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think this was the first game using the new engine, or if it's the same engine as 5, I can't remember.
And Kiwami and Kiwami 2 were like.
Yeah, so yeah, Kiwami's the remake for 1 that came out after 0, and then Kiwami 2 came out after I think Yakuza 6.
Huh, I don't know that. That's good to know though. Just so like I can expect Kiwami then when it comes, or when I play it next.
So I finished Kiwami the other day on stream, and I went to look at some comparison stuff between the original because I do know they added new stuff in Kiwami. When I was playing it, there was dialogue mentioning stuff from 0, and I was like, I doubt that would be in the original version of this game. And
is that PS3?
PS2. Low-key, I kind of want to go back and play the original just for the so bad it's good English dub.
Oh yes, dude! Some fucking Duwang subs. Let's go.
Heck yeah! And also, Mark Hamill as Majima, I think is great.
Oh, that's so
dude,
good.
I remember Grant showing me the fucking video, dude, and that shit was great.
But yeah, so playing Kiwami through, you can tell it's a PS1 game, or not a PS1 game, a PS2 game based on how you're going through the story and how things are popping up. And it's like, oh, instead of this being a side mission, this is part of the main story just to kind of push the game along before we get into the real content. And then there's other things where I feel like, oh, because it's such a dated game, like there's things I just wanted in there that wouldn't have popped up during the time. And some of it's okay, but some of it I'm like, well, if you're going to add stuff to be complementary to 0 anyways, you could just keep adding more story content in here. But it is what it is. I think it is the better experience if you want to go through the series, because there is stuff involving the main antagonist that wasn't in the original, and it makes you understand more of why Kiryu has to fight him. And then it also ties into 0 more. Just other mechanics, like you have to keep encountering Majima all over the place, and he has like his own side story when you rank him up. That's fun. And then yeah, it's just classic Yakuza. It plays the same exact as 0. I will say I think I mentioned it before, but yeah, there were moments in the story where it hard confirmed for me, like, yeah, you should start with 0 because you just wouldn't understand character motives or why this character was important to Kiryu. So that's good. And I think also that they understand that probably people that are playing Kiwami just played 0 as well. And then this is an easier way for them to get into the series like that. Great characters that are in there. Of course, a lot of waifus in this series. And the more I kept seeing unique fighting styles from bosses, the more I was thinking, why don't we just get our own Yakuza fighting game at this point? There's 8 games, and there's plenty of characters to choose from. So they could totally make their own roster. Like, if Kiryu's not going to be in Tekken, Tekken is going to get to Kiryu. You know?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Or wait, there's no other... Sega doesn't make no fighting games, right?
No.
Virtual Fighter.
Virtual... Yeah, I thought so. I didn't want to just say it. It just sounds
dumb. I mean, they're doing some weird esports stuff with that, so we're just gonna have to see.
Okay.
Dude, hopefully with this resurgence of Yakuza fans, like after the newest one, and a lot of people like playing the franchise, I can only hope that they're like, oh, we could probably do a fighting game, you know?
Damn.
But again, that's a shot in the dark, you know? But I really think with the resurgence of fans, it's definitely possible.
It's possible, yeah. It's because the face of I don't know if he's been there since the beginning, but Akira Yuki from fucking Virtua Fighter, he definitely has Kiryu face.
Yeah, so as it stands, I still like Zero more than Kiwami, and it's nothing on Kiwami. It's just Zero has really good stuff in there, more intense. One of the things that bum me out is just like how far forward in time it is. So there's some characters that just won't show up in general
Hmm.
because of how long time passed. And I'm like, I kind of wish.
That's all good. But what matters is the important ones, right? They show up, right?
Yeah. Like you could tell that like all the Majima stuff is new in the game. At least like most of it. Like if it's not part of the main story, everything else is definitely new, and I think that's to do with how popular Majima was in Zero, which is understandable because he is fantastic in that game.
Yeah, so far I fell in love with him.
I think I said it off the recording, dude. I was like, I really like Kiryu, but Majima's just he's a different beast, man. He's literally, but he's just so cool.
Okay, you know what it is for me so far? It's the fucking Bruce Lee yells that he does when he's fighting.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking great, man.
Some of my minor complaints with Kiwami was there was a lot of enemies you would bump into when you're running around Kamurocho, which I wouldn't mind to get the experience, but gosh, man, like almost every single corner of a block, there's just a group there. And it's like, I want to get to the side quest. I want to get to the main story. I don't want to really have to deal with these guys right now.
Right.
One of the best things, though, is they got rid of the money feature for upgrades. So you just get experience points now to level up your stuff. And that makes it so much easier.
For sure. So for every fight, like every little tussle you get into, you get XP?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. And so in the sub-stories, there's tiers of how you could tell like which ones they put time in and which ones are just like very generic. There's a lot of generic ones for sure in Kiwami to where like, oh, you're just going to fight this guy. They're going to run away. And then, sub-story over. And then there's a part 2 and then a part 3. And it's just the same people over and over again. But then you'll get into some pretty big side stories. And then when you finish those, it gives you a crazy amount of experience points.
Those ones to watch out for.
Yeah.
Like if it feels like it's gonna take a while, then yeah, put your time in there so that way you can get like, I think you could get like up to 200 points of experience on one submission.
Jesus.
I gotta go back to Persona for a little bit, but like when I started this game and I started seeing all these side stories show up, and I'm like, fuck, is this gonna like affect the amount of time passing? Like, do sub stories do sub stories go away when I spend time on this sub story? Like, how does this happen and shit? But I'm so glad that like they stayed there, and like you told me, like they can just like you can just take a lap and then they fucking show up for the next stage of the story, and like that shit helps. Like I appreciate that so much because like there were many times where I wanted to do a certain thing with the certain waifu on Persona, and like I had to do something more important that day, and I wasn't gonna get that day again. I'm like, fuck. So I appreciate that a lot. That's like this is a good change, and like fucking, if it's gonna be that way in Kiwami, dude, this is gonna be like a good fucking run. I was telling you guys, I don't know, I think I was telling Adam earlier or somebody, or you maybe, that like it's nothing but fucking it's nothing but like what do you call it, series game. Like if it doesn't have a series, I don't want it for a video game.
You want to really be invested with the characters.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, and if there's like a fucking same game 2, same game 3, I'm down. I'm so down because like that means it's important enough for it to just keep going. I think that's why I'm playing Jack and Daxter, dude. Because like it's like it has 3-4 games, and I'm like, oh my god, 5 games, and I'm like, how? I just want to know the how. That's it.
Yeah, that's why I grabbed up these Ratchet and Clank games the other day. Just like I want to get through the series because I am hyped to play Rift Apart whenever that's going to come out.
Hell yeah, dude! Especially if they have a newer game coming out, like Yakuza had like a dragon, and I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back on me playing like the series. Because the fact that it's still making something new, I'm like, all right. And I've heard it a lot. I've heard about the Yakuza series a lot, so I thought it was like time, you know.
Yeah, with the announcement of Like a Dragon, that definitely pushed me to start the series because since that's with Ichiban, Kiryu's story is essentially done with 0 through 6. So I'm like, okay, now I could actually get through this and really see his whole journey, and then I could start a new one with the boy Ichiban.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Kiwami, it's a cool game. It does feel like a PS2 game, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that. The last fight was pretty good. It lasted really long because of just how much HP there was, but there was some good moments in there. It gets very anime, and it can get very anime with Kiryu sometimes. It's hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yes, it can.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's because sometimes like it's set in reality, right? But sometimes they like to break the rules with that, and Kiryu could just do things that he shouldn't, and that's fun.
Dude, like I think it's in chapter 10, Jerry. There's this scene with Kiryu. It's I was telling you earlier, Dan, like, dude, this is so anime. This is fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so when I beat Kiwami, I immediately started 2, and like I said, this came out after 6, so that means it's using the Dragon engine, and man, it's so crazy how different it looks compared to Zero and Kiwami. The lighting is way crazy different. The models all look nicer. Like, it's all more crisp. Because, you know how like Kiryu's face, you could see every single pore in his face, and you're just like, okay. And it looks a little stiff. And then in here, it's like, oh no, you can actually like see the detail in his beard of like his stubble and all that. My only problems with it though is you can't turn off motion blur, and it can look bad if you're moving the camera pretty fast.
Yeesh.
And there's a bunch of other things that I'm kind of feeling iffy on. The movement feels a little more slidey when Kiryu's running around. Unfortunately, all the fighting styles are gone. There is a fighting style that you use with Kiryu, and that shows up. That's in Kiwami, and it wasn't my favorite, so I'm still iffy on that because I like the options of Beast. Oh gosh, Beast Rush and
Brawler.
and Brawler. Yeah, I just like having those options there because it would change how you want to fight the bosses. And I definitely switched through those a lot during
dude, honestly, fuck the bosses, dude. It's all about Mr. Shakedown.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Right off the bat, you could really tell this is a sequel. I think one of the things that was cool towards the end of Kiwami was like, oh, I could really see the appeal for Yakuza because it's kind of like an old school action film at the end, just the way things are happening and the dialogue.
Nice.
And the way Kiwami 2 starts, it kind of feels like your run of the mill action sequel, like from a blockbuster film last summer kind of thing.
Dude, Die Hard all over again. Let's go.
No.
Yeah, it did the classic setup of, oh, here's the favorite characters from that Kiryu meets. Like, they're going to show up on screen first. Something's going to happen. And then we're going to, have Kiryu come in and kind of just show off how badass he is.
Bad boys.
And then we get into the plot. And there's some really nice twists and turns. Some surprises I wasn't expecting. And then it gets pretty anime with the antagonist. You meet him early on. You get some stuff with him, and you get some of his motives into why he's going to be the villain. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is an anime you would watch on Saturday morning. Okay,
yeah, it's time.
I'm in it. Especially with the way he looks. He looks like it kind of looks like Biff in Back to the Future 2.
Oh my god, dude! Yes.
Like, that's all I keep thinking when I look at him, and I'm just like, oh man, I was in one of the videos I was watching, somebody was just like, yeah, it's cool we're playing Kiwami, so now we don't have to look at Kiryu looking like John Travolta in the PS2 game. So that's all I keep thinking is John Travolta's fighting Biff. Like, alright, I'm in for it now. There's no load time, or the load times are pretty fast I'm playing on PS5.
Hmm.
They're almost instantaneous. They're almost as fast as they are in Miles Morales in certain instances.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And because it's on the Dragon engine, every time you enter a building, you could just walk in. You don't have to press X and it'll load into the room. So that saves some time. Gosh, you could finally put a checkpoint, a waypoint on the map,
Oh,
and
beautiful.
that was the one thing I've been waiting for because I'm like, okay, let me look at the map because I don't remember this goddamn area
Right.
that well. Yeah. One thing that it's missing is kind of the flair that Zero and Kiwami have. Like like when you defeat an enemy and then when you finish like beating up all the thugs in this gang that bumped into you, it has those moments in there where it gets like that flash on the screen, like you could really feel like it's over, and it's not really there, and so that's the only disappointing thing for me in the game. Other than gosh, the audio mixing is not the best. When they're talking and if there's music playing, you could barely hear them. It sounds like they're whispering at times.
God damn.
So that really sucked, and you can't change that in the settings either. So you're just gonna have to just read the subtitles. Good thing that those are there. Yeah. So I'm only in chapter 3. There's a lot to go in there, but yeah, there's some cool characters that showed up, and I'm looking forward to the rest. And I'm gonna be playing that on my off time, but I'll also be streaming that on Fridays because it's Friday night.
Hey.
And yeah, that'll be on twitch.tv/Negator7 for that. And that is, I guess that's the Yakuza section for the podcast. We'll be back next time with an update. But we're talking about good games, and Adam, you just beat a good game, right? Bug Snacks.
Dude, that game was phenomenal. Like, whoever wrote this game did a really, really good job. Yeah, it has the appeal of like it's probably a little kid's game, and I said this before, but it's not. Like the concepts that they bring into the game with the dialogue that you have between the different characters, it gets so wild. It goes all over the place, and even the ending of the game, I could see them do a sequel. Honestly, I could.
Nice.
It really lays it up for it. But yeah, it was really fun. I'll probably go back and plat it. I highly recommend if anyone who is playing it, definitely do all of the side quests where you can fight the 4 legendary bug snacks because the last sequence of the game it does help out a lot more. Just so you can kind of see, oh, okay, this is kind of how we got here. This makes more sense than just seeing a whole bunch of very large ones when you've kind of really just seen some smaller ones throughout the game. But yeah, I think originally I said I'd give it about 8, 8.5. I'd probably give it 8.5 to 9. Now that I've had some time to think about it, it just was really made correctly. The music is banging, the entire time through, especially in the last sequence. Again, story is very well written. I I really would play this game all over again. Yeah, it's honestly just a really good time. And the VODs are up over on my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/BamAdam. So if you just want to see what the whole sequence is, be my guest. There's a lot of frustrating moments where I can't catch a certain bug snacks, but it's a good time.
I recently beat the Pathless, and this is from Giant Squid. This is the guys that made Abzu, and also people that worked on Journey and Flowers. All those adventure games. And that's a really good game, man. Like I was playing a little bit of it on Friday, and I was like, I'll just play a little bit and then go do something else. And then I ended up beating it and getting the plat because I'm just so immersed into what's going on with the game. It looks really nice. It's a beautiful game, especially with that 4K on PS5, nice and crisp. It has soothing music. I really like the soundtrack. And when you have to get hyped for the bosses, like the music can definitely pick up to get you motivated. The design for our main character is great, and for the bosses, they're fantastic. Especially the main boss you fight is the God Slayer, as he's called, and he looks like he's just from Tower of God.
Dude, it's just Tower of God the game.
Yeah, it's my only disappointment is that it's a short game because there's only there's the four main bosses you fight, and then the final boss, and then getting the plats. And I ended up like spending longer looking for stuff than I should have, but it was like about a 12-hour experience for me. Um, it's not too bad, yeah. It did take a little while to get used to the rhythm of the game. So what it is you're running, and you have a meter that you use for your sprint, and then it can run out. But with your bow, you can shoot these targets in the air to extend it, and then you get a dash when your arrow makes a contact with it as well. And that plays key into the first phase of the boss fights, and as well as like other sections of the game, like finding the items that you need, and the collectibles and all that. Um, every boss is unique when you fight them, and I thought that was great because you only have a bow. I was like, there's really only so much you can do with it, but just the way they attack is great. And then yeah, the final boss, that was some really cool stuff. The designs just kept getting better as we got towards the end. I was looking through some stuff, and I found that there is an Easter egg in the game that's pretty hard to find. You have to get 8 collectibles, but when you get them, you unlock a secret room, and it's this nice Easter egg for Abzu, which was their first game. I'm like, oh, that's cool, But then scrolling through on YouTube, I saw a video, and you're reading through and hearing what they had to say. It sounds like this game is actually connected to the Abzu universe. Yeah, and I thought that's cool when game devs can do that with their IPs, and it makes me actually want to go and check out Abzu. I've been meaning to check it out when it was free for Plus, but now that I heard that it's connected to this game, I'm like, oh, okay. I wonder if there's some hints in there or something about like timeline stuff. So I want to check that out too. But highly recommend Pathless, man. It's a good time.
Yeah, I picked it up a while ago and I've been meaning to get onto it, but my priority was Bug Snacks. So I think I'm going to spend some time on it. And knowing that it's only about 12 hours, I can easily run through that.
Yeah. There's really nothing. And the good thing about it is it's not too complex. It's a rated E 10 up game, so the puzzles aren't super crazy. It could take a while sometimes, but like you just have to look around a bit and then just remember what your mechanics are, and then it's pretty easy from there. But no, there's some fun puzzles in there too. And every area they always add new mechanics into what you can do. So that's cool. And then man, just like you get the storytelling through the environment. There is dialogue with our characters, but it doesn't talk about this like the world itself, just of what's going on right now. But yeah, there's like some answers that I'm like I still want from the game, because like there's just stuff laying around the place that's like, oh man, this is crazy. I want to know more about this. So it has an interesting world there too. So I hope we could get something more from this team. I'd like to see what their next game would be. Right on, man. So let's go ahead and get into this other stuff here that we got in the news. We missed it last week just because of the time we recorded, but Square Enix copyrighted some Final Fantasy VII titles. We don't know if these are games or anything, but it's hinting stuff towards like what they're doing with Remake and Remake 2, right, Adam? I really didn't get a good look into what they were talking about.
Yeah, so the names, I think it was Ever Crisis, First Soldier. I don't know if it was two separate ones or just one standalone. That really tells me that, I mean, and this has kind of been the general idea since I played the remake, is that they're they're not doing the same story. I mean, there are going to be certain elements that are going to be universal as the original, but it's called remake for a reason. Especially as you get towards the end of part one, it really, really shows that. And there is an actual cutscene at the very end of the game, which, with this announcement, it makes it seem very likely that they are going to do something with Zack, which is a huge fan favorite. I mean, he's really the star of Final Fantasy VII. If you guys haven't played it, I'm not going to give you the whole details for it, but yeah. So I'm hoping. I mean, it's if they're gonna keep writing on this Final Fantasy VII hype, which I think they should, because we also did just get Sephiroth and Smash too. Like keep it coming, dude. Like people are gonna keep eating it up. I just hope that. if they if this is going to be a new game, we'll probably see it in between part 2 and part 3 of the remake. I think that would
Mm.
make I think that would make more sense story-wise for them to do it that way, especially if folks are like entirely new, super vanilla to the series. But I'm really excited to see what happens. If this is a game that's hopefully like Crisis Core, if not, they just perfected the formula, because Crisis Core was not turn-based. It was a totally different kind of engine that they used, and it worked out really well. So if they bring that back, or even just use what they're using for the remake, I think it'll be fine either way.
That means we're a step closer to City on Switch.
I know, just a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean they're done with the last one, right?
Dissidia?
Yeah, wasn't Tifa like the last thing that came out?
No, there was a couple other DLCs that came out. I haven't heard any
Mm.
news about them adding one else. I don't know if they will, but I mean the roster's already stupid huge as it is.
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean
like
if
to
I
see a
if
new
I
one.
had to guess, I would say it's definitely going to be post 16.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think right now 16 is going to be the big thing for Final Fantasy, besides 7.
Which I'm hyped for 16. 16 looks cool.
I can't wait. It makes me really want to play 14 just because it's the same guy who was working on it, the one who salvaged 14. So, I mean, it
Oh,
isn't it?
for the writer?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been hearing
yes.
good things from the expansions for 14.
Yeah, because when 14 had originally started, I guess it was a flop, and then this guy
Mm-hmm.
came in. I can't remember his name, but he saved the entire game. And like, obviously, we've seen so many more expansions since then. So for him to be taking the lead creatively for 16, I only have really good feelings about it.
Nice. Yeah. So cool, man. Yeah, Final Fantasy stuff, great as always. We got the trailer for the DLC for Mario 3D World. That's Bowser's Fury, or Bowser's Furry, as everyone kept saying on Twitter, which was funny. Um,
Furry.
Dude, will we get Super Saiyan Mario?
yeah, we get this new look for Bowser, which is freaking crazy.
Dude, he looks like a Bloodborne boss.
Yup.
He
Fucking
look he looks
Nintendo.
so good, dude.
Hey, wasn't there a
Honestly.
fucking a Dark Souls level in like Mario uh one of the Mario games? Where it's like you're
Uh,
fighting a fucking dragon or something? Like an actual dragon?
oh yeah, that was in Mario Odyssey. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Dude,
cool.
that boss fight was really fun actually. But yeah, I have high hopes for this. I've heard that that Mario game actually was really good as it is. So I'm thinking about picking it up, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet.
Mm. Yeah, I played a little bit of 3D Worlds when it was on the Wii U, and I had some fun with it. It was definitely some cool stuff there. And yeah, it's crazy to see that this game is getting a DLC instead of it being its own thing. But I guess it's better to just do it like this and then just focus more on the next Mario game. Like I
Yeah,
guess this story wasn't big enough to be its own standalone game on the Switch,
right.
um, which kind of makes sense because this was gonna come out, let's say like 5 years ago, this would probably be a 3DS game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and since they don't do the 3DS stuff anymore, and they're like, well, these games have to be big enough to be on for your TV, like I guess just content wise,
Hmm.
right? Like if you play on the handheld, that's cool, but if you want to play on your TV, you would expect more from a game like that.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think 3DS reached end of its life like 2 years ago or something. It was with the last Persona game that came out for it.
Rip.
Yeah, they stopped production, I think, like 2 years ago.
Hmm. Something around
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So that's cool. Bowser's furry, fury, whatever you want to call it. Um, I mean, Mario does wear a cat suit, right? So
Dude, he goes Super Saiyan, man.
yeah.
I will say the official concept art for it that they posted, that looks really nice. Like where it's Mario and Bowser Jr. just staring off into
Mm.
big ass Bowser.
Yeah, yeah. So the story is you're helping Bowser Jr. escape, right?
I think so. I haven't looked too much into it, but it looks like it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And speaking of DLC stuff, this got announced today as we're recording, I think. But yeah, they announced that Maneater is going to be getting some DLC.
No way. That's that shark game,
That's
right?
Yeah,
crazy.
Shark Souls. Yeah. They threw me off. I was like, "What DLC?" Like, don't, I can't imagine what they would do, but I'm interested. I like that game. Um, I don't remember if I mentioned it. I played it on PS5 with the free upgrade, and I don't know. People said their experience was fine, but I actually had more bugs and crashes than when I played it on PS4,
That's
which
wild.
was crazy. But yeah, this is cool. I like the game. It has its own fun stuff to it. I mean, the fact that there's armor sets for a shark, I think sells it
Jesus,
enough.
yeah.
And then there's the narrative is portrayed as like a documentary on National Geographic or like Discovery.
That's fucking great.
Yeah,
I need to
and like
download this game.
the main antagonist, Scaly Pete, he was fun. He was just a character the entire time.
Scaly Pete.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. It's a little rough in the beginning, but once you grow up into, I think, like a teenage or adult shark, like the game gets a lot better.
This dude said teenager shark. I'm in. Say
Yeah,
less.
because so you start the game off and it's like a tutorial prologue, and then when you start the game for real, like you're a baby shark, and then you have to level up to grow up. And when you're the baby, there's characters, there's creatures you have to fight, and they're way higher level than you are. So you have to really grind or just go to the next area, and then just level up, and then go
That's
back to your
crazy.
hideout, and then you'll grow up. Yeah,
Literally shark souls.
Damn, I might need to play that shit then.
Dude, I think it's free right now too.
yeah, it's free for
Oh,
Plus right
shit.
now but it's the PS5 version. So
Oh.
yeah,
Fucking deal. I'm about to download that right now.
yeah, it's a cool game. It can get pretty intense with the wanted levels, and the reasons it kept crashing on me is because there's just so much happening on screen, and like you just start lagging. But like that stuff's pretty intense too. It's a fun time.
This dude said wanted levels like it's a GTA game. That's great.
Straight up.
I mean, just go watch Donkey's video. I think it sells it pretty well. Yeah, there was like a poor review from, I forget what like game website, and he was just playing that, and then he would just play like the cool fun stuff, like you're a shark, man, you're doing wacky stuff. Like that's what we're here for. Come on. Yeah, no, nothing else announced, nothing else said aside from like it's happening. So cool stuff, man. Next month is the Neo Collection. Will be out on PS5. It's the remasters for 1 and 2, and that's, I forget the exact date. I think it's the 6th on February. But on starting February 4th, they're gonna release 2 armor sets for free for Neo 2. And one of them is, I think it's Nobunaga's armor. It kind of looks like it, I forget, but it's this gold armor. And then they're giving us another armor set that resembles the little cats that you can get in the game. And all I gotta say is we're getting cat ears, bro. It's freaking furry time.
Dude, it's time, dude.
It's time, man.
FIFT.
FIFT, bro.
FIFT.
Getting cat ears on the waifus. So that's cool. And it's a limited time, so it starts on the 4th, ends on the 26th. So you pretty much have the whole month to pick it up. And I think all you have to do is probably just maybe grab it from the PSN store, is what I have to guess. But it's going to be free, so that's cool. And then We got a new trailer for Persona 5 Strikers. Did you guys check that out?
Nah, I'm looking
I
at it right now though.
I did not, but I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Ever since that game came out, I've been keeping up with it, like everything that I've seen in it. So at this point, I don't even want to see it anymore because it either might be something I've already seen or some new stuff, and I just want to go into it super vanilla.
Mm.
When did it come out? 5 days ago? 3 days ago? 3 days
The
ago.
trailer was 3 days ago.
I mean,
was
that
like-
game drops in like 3 weeks, so I'm so ready.
Oh, I'm not.
He just came out.
Yeah, man. Don't pull me back in. Like this shit was announced right. It was like on the last boss, fucking Persona 5 Royal, and I'm like, man, there goes another 100 of my hours. It's like, yeah, it's like $60-$70, right? But then it's also like it depends how far you want to go, up to like 120 hours.
Dude,
For
I've
me
seen
at least,
people
because I
do,
gotta
like,
be thorough, bro.
Dude, I see some people put like 180 hours just for completionists, man. Like,
And that's what stops me from checking this series out, man.
dude, I mean, even alone, like, I think the game will probably take you like 60, 70 hours.
Yeah, if you don't want to go
That's
through everything,
crazy, man.
yeah, bro, it's still a lot. Cause you gotta go through like days at a time. I don't know about Strikers though. It looks more Muso than anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a Muso like.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not going to be an extensive amount of hours.
This
for it.
looks like, honestly, I just saw the trailer right now, and I'm still it's like, I'm thinking it may be like a different story altogether. But like, you know how like Persona 5 and the Persona 5 Royal is kind of a spin on Persona 5. Like this might be a spin on Persona 5 as well, not Royal, because again with this trailer I didn't see any Kasumi or Maruki here.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm not 100% certain.
From Persona 5 Royal, but then
Yeah.
again, it's like the trailer itself too, so I'm not sure either. But I'm just assuming what I've just seen right now.
Right. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we had like a Persona Strikers like Royal, dude. I really
Fuck no, dude.
You just
No.
keep it going,
dude.
man.
No, because
Shit.
they do that. Okay, so we had
It's gonna be like
Persona
Kingdom
3.
Hearts 2.5, 2.8
Oh,
all
dude,
over again,
100%. No,
Fuck.
look, dude. We had Persona 3. We had Persona 3 FES. Then we had Persona 3 Portable, right? So they had 3 iterations. And then Persona 4 Golden. Like, there's always a second or third iteration of the game.
Yeah,
So
no, but see,
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's
I
more
really
than the
wouldn't.
definitive edition. So oh my god, there's gonna be a definitive version of Persona 5 Strikers, dude. No, dude.
I can't
Not ready.
wait to throw my money away.
By the time you know it, it's gonna be 40. You're gonna have a fucking kid already. And it's gonna be like, man, when's
Dude.
Persona 6 coming out?
Dude, and then they're gonna be like, hey, we have one last edition of Persona 5 right before 6 drops. And I'm 40, I'll be like, dude, come on, let's go. Give me what you got. Dude, it's like with Kingdom Hearts, man. I have every copy.
Dude, you can't escape from crossing fate, man.
Fuck, man. I just hope that the next rendition has the same, if not better, fucking slaps to listen to. Cause goddamn, man, Persona 5 gave me some good music.
Oh, dude, from what I can remember of everything I was looking at for Strikers before it was announced to the West, it's got some spanking bangers.
After beating a Royal, how I was kind of like I appreciate a good what do you call it? I appreciate a good like original mix for like the ending of a song, you know, because like you get like the loop of songs every now and every like pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
This last one was actually like a good performance, you know, by like the whole band and stuff, like who would play the original music, but it didn't stand up to like the first one. I was in my personal opinion, because like
I definitely agree.
The ending for Royal, no, the ending for the ending for 5 was really good, and like I fucking just the song they used for the ending of that one, I fell in love with. This one didn't like. Maybe it's because like I came in with the bias already. I'm like, okay, well, They could have used the song from the first game, but it's my opinion. It's still 120 hours of my time gone, but whatever.
You're never getting back.
It was worth it.
Yeah, when you start pushing those numbers, then I'm like, oh man, that's
a lot.
I gotta move my schedule around to get through something like that.
I think we said it off the record, dude, but I was like, man, I wish I had these kinds of games back when I was in high school, when I didn't have responsibilities.
Fucking same.
when I didn't have shit to do.
For every summer I was fucking grounded, dude. I could have finished the fucking series, man.
Dude, exactly.
No
We're
joke,
like, oh,
dude.
dude, I can rack up these games in summertime. I got 3 months. I got 3 months to beat everything. I can do it. And
Dude,
now
real
it's
talk.
like, I don't have summer vacation.
Fuck no, man. You gotta play everything in snippets. Just like, I don't know about you guys, but every time I watch a show, like I gotta fucking watch it in snippets. Like I can't even finish a whole episode. Like I gotta fucking come back to it later and then just finish it. Like by that time I have like maybe 15 minutes left to like just finish
I gotta stop
episode,
everything
you know?
if I need to focus on something like that. That's why I
Yeah.
haven't really watched shows lately. Yeah.
Right.
See, that's what I'm liking now, because before I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the series to end and I can binge it. But then I'll find some shows where I'm like, man, this is kind of spanking. Like that Spanish show I told you on HBO Max, 30
Yeah, bro.
coins. Dude,
I've heard about that one.
Dude, every Monday I'm like, I need to watch it. I'm not waiting. It's so. I said it in the chat a few weeks ago. This is like borderline B-rated, like A horror movie, but it's a series and it's fucking great. Everything they're doing is so good.
Yeah.
And then actually I found out that the guy who made this, he directed Toy Story 3.
You know what? I see the overlap. Hey man, Bethesda announced their Machine Games is gonna do an Indiana Jones game.
Indeed.
This is the team that they do the Wolfenstein games.
Hey, dude.
I think it's gonna be good,
bro.
I think it's gonna be really good.
A Doom style,
Yeah.
kind of almost Doom style Indiana Jones game, dude. I'm fucking down. It better be a first person, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. They're all. I think all the Wolfensteins are first person, so can imagine. That's gonna be cool, man. I'm gonna assume Harrison Ford will probably do the voice
I hope so.
since they're doing Indy 5. I think that makes sense.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm so hyped for that. That's the first thing in the morning when I see that. When I saw that, I mean, I screamed, man. I'm like, ah! That shit was awesome, dude. Like,
Yeah.
there are good things coming. I just hope it doesn't get fucking pushed back, dude. I hope they actually take their time making it, though.
Yeah, I don't see a rush. I mean, this is not like there's gonna be a Tomb Raider or Uncharted game anytime soon.
Nah.
So they got plenty of time to work on this. And then the other day we got some screenshots for the Mortal Kombat movie,
Big hype.
and it looks like a video game movie. So, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And then just a reminder, it will be out in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously.
Dude, when is that dropping? That's this year, right?
Yeah, it should be March. I think was the last
shit.
the last thing we heard. Let's see.
Dude, we're gonna have to rewatch all of the old ones
Fuck.
and then rewatch this one just to get the blood flowing.
Oh, excuse me, April 16th is what they have.
That's
Yeah,
not that
cool.
far away. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, so we should actually be getting a trailer soon. I'd imagine next month sometime, because I think they should be done filming at this point. I like video game movies. Let's keep the consistency that they've been doing. I haven't checked out Monster Hunter yet, but you know what? It's going to be that dumb good, so
Go,
I have
dude,
no
yeah.
complaints.
Well, you know it.
This was also from today. The man Itagaki, right, from Koei Tecmo, if I'm not mistaken. He's the Ninja Gaiden guy, DOA guy. He left the studio last year, I believe. And he is forming his own studio called Itagaki Games. And he was in some interviews recently, and he's talking how like he would like to work with Xbox again. He always liked working with them.
No.
During like the DOA 3 launch for, I think that was 360.
Yeah.
And then, just their relationship's always good, that he loves the teams over there. So I guess that means it might be an Xbox only game, which sucks, but, they're still going strong Games Pass, so that'll be on PC.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what he's going to be making. Ninja Gaiden's cool. We like DOA.
We love DOA.
Yeah.
We love the physics.
Dude, DOA is great. Every girl has a lot of personality.
Yes, they do.
That's the best way to put it.
So bad.
And Ninja Gaiden's that great hack and slash. Come on.
Dude, I really would love
dude
a new kind of Gaiden game, man.
I was thinking about just fucking getting that again. Fucking just playing it again. I'm thinking about it, dude, because I was thinking hard about it the other day at work, man. I was like, man, that game was so good. If anything, I could probably try to speedrun that, but I don't fucking know, dude. Yeah, but no, I'm telling you, dude, because I knew a bunch of shit about Ninja Gaiden, from the back of my hand about the game. Not Sigma, because I beat it all before Sigma came out and shit. So from that point on, I was kind of just into that, because I had both the PS2 and the Xbox, the fucking doorstopper one, fucking years together. If it wasn't GTA San Andreas, it was Ninja Gaiden. And I had to figure out every secret to that game and shit, which means I had to get really, really, really good and precise on combat. A lot of the bosses still fucked with me, but it's prepared me for Dark Souls today, that's for sure.
That's the beginning, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's the beginning of that. What is this feeling I have in my heart? Am I pissed?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing. And then finally, I thought this was pretty cool, man. Last year, late last year, there was a typhoon in Japan, and that caused some damage, and specifically a torii gate.
That's not. I'm sorry, that's not something you start out with. I'm excited about this. A tsunami hit Japan the other day.
Well, we're gonna get to why this is a good story here.
Yeah.
So this torii gate specifically showed up in Ghost of Tsushima, right? The game that came out last year. And so they came out with a campaign to restore it and put it back to where it is, because it did get moved during the typhoon. And with the help of some fans for Ghost of Tsushima, they got the goal 5 times than what they initiated for. So that's pretty cool, man.
Gamers coming through.
Gamers rise up. Exactly.
This is our year, gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool, man. I've yet to play Tsushima, but that seems like a really great game, and to see the passion just move forward into something like this, that's great. So yeah, it's gonna wrap up this episode for the podcast here. Usual stuff, manga reviews coming out. This week, I talked about Evangelion. I read that manga, and I gotta say, so far, I've only watched the anime and read the manga, and I'm liking the manga more right now.
As it should be.
Yeah, so we'll check out. I'm gonna check out the rebuilds eventually, and then mainly because that last trailer, man, I was just like, "What the heck is going on, dude?"
Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea what you're gonna put yourself
Okay,
through.
look, man, you guys haven't read the manga, right?
No, I didn't read up to that part.
Okay, so there's a special chapter after the final chapter, and it's a flashback talking about Shinji's mom when she was in college.
Wait, I might have.
And she meets a character that's one of her friends, and there's no name drop for the character, and then it's not until the last panel when they do a certain thing, and then the name drop happens, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know who that is. Now I gotta watch rebuilds to understand what just happened in this chapter.
Oh shit, dude!
So yeah,
fuck,
there's that
man,
going on.
I kind of want to guess who it is, but I don't want to fucking spoil it. I don't want to say anything. Because I feel like I read up to that part, but my fucking dumbass brain just doesn't remember.
Dude, how many chapters was it?
What you were talking about? Wait, how many chapters?
It's 8. What is it? 86 or 96? It's under 100 chapters.
Oh,
yeah, you could breeze through it pretty quick.
I might have read it. Oh, we got to talk about this, Danny.
Yeah. And well, also in the last trailer, there was stuff from the manga in there. It was like a few frames, but that's another reason why I wanted to read it. And it's good stuff, man. It's the same art style as the anime too, so it's cool stuff. So that'll be out Wednesday. New Marvel talk this week. We're mainly gonna talk about those first 2 episodes of WandaVision that dropped. And it's a little weird. Just gonna say right now.
Yeah, dude, I started the first episode. I haven't finished it yet, so
just wait till like the last 2 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Of the first episode?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And I'll just say here, my only complaint is, I get it, this is from Marvel Studios, but we don't need a 7-minute credits on a TV series.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was looking at the timestamp of when the episode ended, and I looked, and I'm like, we have 7 minutes left to go through these credits?
That's way too long, dude.
I'm at home on my iPad. I'm not in a movie theater, bro.
Right.
And I'll just let you know, there's no after credit scenes on these episodes.
I was just about to ask.
Fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be a movie?
Some people think it probably was gonna be a movie. I think it's just too weird of an idea to be a movie. So it's better off as a show.
I like that. It's kind of meta with the whole fucking old school TV.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Jake on in our chat, and he said episode 2 is supposed to represent a different show compared to the first episode, and to me they kind of just felt the same, but they all have their own themes. Eventually they're gonna do an 80s sitcom parody at some point in the show based off the trailers, so they're kind of just hopping those kind of genres. It's weird.
That's a lot of budget for a show that may flop.
Yeah, it's a lot of budget, man, because some of the CG's, well, I mean, you can't really tell because it's in black and white, so I think that kind of helps with their CG, but there's some shots in there that look really nice, especially with Vision, because, it's the makeup and CG all put together.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be talking about that and some news that we got to catch up on for the MCU and all that wild stuff. And then Webtoons on Friday, Jake Kim arc just ended. I don't know if you read those chapters yet, Jerry, but
good stuff, man.
Dude, everything's connecting, man.
Hell yeah.
It's the perfect time to catch up, dude. I'm do that tomorrow.
Get in it, bro. It's fucking great. I'm telling you, dude. It gets really intense. I was telling Danny earlier. It was getting really intense this chapter, dude.
I might just restart that whole arc.
It's a good arc, man. It's 13, 14, 15 chapters.
18.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a good 18. Yeah. Good stuff, man. And you could catch all of us streaming over on Twitch. My plan is going to be starting Travis Strikes Again. I'll be doing that, and then a little bit of Yakuza on Fridays. And that's at Negator 7. And then, Jerry, you're still going through the Dark Souls, right?
Yes, sir. I'm about to beat I think the 3rd boss out of the 4 bosses I need to get to the last boss. And then that should be it. Yeah, I'm trying for the Age of Dark run where I don't really link the fire again. I just pretty much just I think take it. But yeah, it's an ending I haven't done yet, at all in my lifetime. I played this before on the 360. Yeah, I've always heard about this ending, but I just I think I've seen it actually happen, but it's not the same if you don't experience it yourself, So just the fact that there's another ending that I haven't got, I'm all right, I'm down. I also got Jack 2 in the works. I feel like I hit a climax at this point. And honestly, at this point, I'm just waiting for the game to end. Because I want to start, I don't know, dude. It's the fact that there's a backlog right now. I kind of just want to go through everything at once, but my mind can't do that. I can't switch off here and there. And plus, I don't think I stream enough to actually play more games. But it is what it is, I'll pretty much do my best to just like switch back and forth between Dark Souls and Jak 2. Overwatch sometimes, but that's like every now and then. I'm tired of losing, guys.
Buddy, yeah. And then with Bug Snacks done, Adam, what you got planned?
Dude, now it's time, dude, for the holy run, for the holy grail.
Oh man,
Everybody knows I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, so we're gonna do. I'm firm on this. I'm set. I'm set in stone on this. I'm gonna do every Kingdom Hearts game, proud mode, default Keyblade, default weapons for everybody, no accessories, no fucking equipment changes, zero EXP. We're gonna run through it all. And then
You
when I
really
get
hate
to Kingdom
yourself,
Hearts
huh, dude?
3, I'm gonna turn off the form change and no cure and no items. So,
Lordy.
yeah, you're crazy.
dude, it's gonna be a rough ride. And I think one of my homies was like, "Why would you suffer like this?" And I was like, "Dude, this is the purest way to defeat the darkness. This is the only way I can do it." So that should hopefully start this week. Um, Obviously, we'll start with Kingdom Hearts 1 and work our way through them.
Heck yeah, man. And as always, again, you can send an email, unversepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments, love to talk about it. And then you can follow us on social media at Unverse Podcast anywhere you go, and we'll let you know when those episodes drop. So thanks, guys, and we will catch you on the next one.
Cause we're kidding.